Hmm.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So, and I'm going over here because it's not in mobile yet.
Okay.
The leasing portion isn't.
Boy, it's really slow, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Zach and Sean are supposed to get together and
Do the update pretty
do
soon,
the
huh?
update. Okay, so if you go to leasing, we're just going to do a test. I don't remember. I think we have some earplugs over there. Okay. So then you hit, oh, I got to pick who we're leasing it to. We're leasing it to this guy. He's the only employee we got set up right now. So when you go to the packing slip, so it's already, oh, why is it not? Why is it not there?
Okay. Well, let's imagine it was.
Well, normally it is supposed to have their name and the item that they checked out.
Okay.
So all I was really wondering was could we add a signature screen where they could sign? Or the other option.
Screen or just a screen to sign or just a place on the form to sign it?
No, they want to sign. They want them to sign like they do in mobile.
Right. Okay. That's what we thought.
Sign on the screen.
Right.
And then.
That's got to be done in mobile.
Yeah, it's already done in mobile. Yeah. But we don't have leasing in mobile. Oh, in mobile, leasing already has a signature?
No, but that's where the signature has to be captured. So, yeah, Zach has to put leasing in mobile.
Yeah. And then, but y'all were doing that anyway, right? Weren't y'all?
Well, I thought that was the plan. I thought that was the plan to do it, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this end user agreement form over here, which is blank.
Yeah, what is that?
I guess y'all maybe have an end user agreement as a standard deal.
Well,
Never had one.
Yeah, let's just stop for a second. This is all on the old skin, and the old skin is going away probably within a week. So whatever we're going to do in the new skin.
Okay, well then.
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't that put in there per your request, Kim, that user agreement form?
No. Mm-mm.
I
don't think we would have put it in there just for giggles.
No, I mean,
it may have been in there. It may have been in there for. Remember, there was. I can't even remember the customer. It's over so long ago. But they had a. It was a housing company, right? And they did leasing. We had some sort of user.
Were there. We just used it. So okay, then do y'all want to show us the new skin leasing?
Well, I think it's did Zach put it in yours? I mean, it's basically the same thing. We just need to put in the leasing slip and the user agreement form.
Okay.
Do you think the user?
Well, because I was trying to figure out some way we didn't have to reinvent the wheel. since it was already in there, I was thinking we could just take the bottom part of that payroll deduct form I sent y'all that says employee receipt and put it in the user agreement, and then the packing slip is fine. It gives everything that the top part of that payroll deduct that I sent. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah, but don't you have specific wording in your user agreement form specifically for JVIC?
Yeah, the bottom
right?
part, the bottom, that employee receipt.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be in the user agreement form.
It's on the PDF, Ben.
Right, but don't you want to print that out of mobile too, like you do your certs and stuff like that? Or do you just want to print it from MyPoll?
No, all of this has to be in mobile.
Well, I know you have to capture it all in mobile. Do you want to trigger a print from mobile like we do with certifications and transits?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, all of that has to be coded for leasing too.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, most of the work is in mobile, okay, but we do have the PDF forms that we got to generate, and that has to be done, you know, in active reports, and then it has to be ported to that print program that we have that prints out the not only the certifications and the transits, but now it's going to have to print out leasing too. So all of that has to be, you know, developed and coded to get leasing to work the way you want it to.
Okay. So, okay, so let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that's the right route to go? Or do y'all think we should just add the employee receipt to the bottom of the leasing slip for, oh, you can't do that, can you? Because then if they lease tools, that it would still print the same coverall, right?
You kind of lost me there.
So I was thinking, since we're going to have to redo, y'all, sounds like y'all are going to have to redo most of this anyway, we could just put the employee receipt on the bottom of the packing slip. But then I said, no, that won't work, because then if somebody's checking out tools, they're going to get the employee receipt for the coverall on the bottom of their packing slip, correct?
You only want this for coveralls? You only have to sign for coveralls?
No.
Right.
No, in the standalone system, which we already have all this over there, but in the standalone system, they sign for all tools. So now that they're wanting to move to mobile, they'll have to sign for all tools. But the only ones that have this employee receipt, do y'all have that form that I emailed y'all?
Yeah.
The only one that has that employee receipt at the bottom is the coveralls. So that's why I was saying do the user agreement form for the coveralls. And that's why I was saying it wouldn't work to put it all on the packing slip. Did I just, y'all understand?
Well,
It's
I want
confusing.
I want to be sure I'm clear on this. We're going to use leasing to replace your standalone Inventory Pro, right? That's what you're saying? So,
yeah.
Okay. So they're going to use leasing now, and those IP per win workstations are going to go away. You're not going to do that anymore.
Correct.
And then you're also going to use leasing for a coverall program.
Yes, coverall trailers. They're just like tool trailers, only they're coveralls instead of tools.
But they payroll deduct those.
But yeah, they payroll deduct. Well, they payroll deduct the tools too. Yeah, they do.
So what if the coveralls? The coveralls are what coveralls are, right? These guys put them on and they go out in the field and they work it, correct?
Yeah, they get issued 2 coveralls when they start the project. And it's
Okay.
their responsibility to launder them, take care of them, and all that other mess. If they get messed up or whatever, they can bring them back and get 2 more. But at the end of the project, they have to turn in those 2 pair of coveralls. If they don't turn in those 2 pair of coveralls, they get payroll deducted.
Jim, they don't make you take them down the river and beat them on a rock?
Nope. I'm not in the coverall department.
So,
Sir?
okay, so what are the part numbers for those? Because we're going to have to know when to trigger a signature. If you're going to use leasing and mobile for not only the coverall.
Leasing, gosh, I don't, we put this is one of the things that is going to be really difficult, in my opinion, when we go to, well, not difficult, but it's going to cost us a lot of money. When we go to using leasing on the tool trailers from mobile, we already have all of this in the standalone system. We already have all the changes we need in the standalone system. Now those changes are going to have to go into mobile down the road, not right now. So, what did you ask me, Ben?
I just asked you, if we're gonna use leasing for 2 different purposes, the coverall program needs a signature. We need to know what triggers that signature on mobile. Is it an item ID? Are they all the same item ID?
Well,
leasing tools requires a signature too, right, Kim?
Do what?
Leasing tools requires a signature as well.
Yes. Leasing requires a signature for everything in the standalone system. That's why I said we've already got all this in the standalone system. Leasing requires a signature anytime an employee checks anything out.
Right.
So the only thing that's changing for the coveralls is this user agreement. So
you only need that for the coverall program.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we put it in there as the user, in that user agreement form, if y'all just put this standard thing in there and then it pops up where they can sign it, then they'll just pull up the user agreement when they're doing coveralls. Other than that, it's not needed. We don't need a user agreement right now. I mean, I'm not saying that won't change down the road, but as of right now, coveralls is the only one that needs a user agreement. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have spoken out loud earlier because I was thinking it through my head and I think I got y'all. So when the packing slip prints from leasing, whether it's coveralls, tools, or whatever, in mobile, it needs to pop up with a signature screen so they can sign. And then when the packing slip prints out, it has the employee's signature on it.
Okay.
Just like the certifications do.
Right.
And they need to be able to click on that user agreement form, and that wording will come up, and they'll sign that user agreement.
Don't you want the coverall, the list of coveralls like you have on that form to also come up, Kim? Doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
Is it not a big deal? I mean, if we could have the leasing, if we could have the end user agreement form list the coveralls and the employee receipt, and they just sign that one form, that would be fine.
Right.
What do y'all think?
I don't think that's a big, I mean, we're going to have to do some work on that form anyway, so we might as well just add the list of coveralls to it.
Why wouldn't you just clone the packing slip and then put the end user agreement on the bottom of it for coverall?
Same thing.
That's great.
That's the same thing. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because practically speaking,
how do we know when we're dealing with coveralls, Kim?
Well, it's a separate trailer. I think they're separate. They're completely separate entities, aren't they? Basically, Kim. It's not like you're going to mix and match tools and coveralls on the same
No.
transaction, are you?
No, the
But
trade,
we need to know how to identify them. I don't know how to identify a coverall trailer in the system. How do you do it today, Kim?
well, the coveralls have their own item numbers, but
That's what
why
I
would-
mean.
why would y'all need to know how to identify it?
Because it's a different form. You want a tool form and you want a coverall form.
No, I don't need a tool form. On the end user agreement form, I only need coveralls. We don't do this. Tools,
I thought
they
you just
sign
said
the
that on the, Kim, I thought you just said on the leasing side that they have to sign for the tools, and it's the same.
They do. They sign the packing slip.
Right, so we're just going to modify that exact same packing slip for the coveralls, but we
I thought
need
you were
to
gonna
know when a part is actually a coverall. You know, we just need to put a flag on the item or know the part
Right.
number.
If it's all the same item ID, then we can trigger off that. I just need to know how
No.
to identify.
It's not all the same item ID. They have all different item IDs.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Well,
all different sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two.
They have all different sizes. There's different kinds. And I
What
guess I misunderstood because I thought y'all were modifying the end user agreement, not the packing slip.
Well, we can do either one, but we still need, Benson still needs to have the ability to, you know, there needs to be a field on there to say when an item ID is part of the coverall program. You know, there just needs to be a checkbox.
It can either be on the trailer itself that says this is a coverall trailer, or it can be on individual items.
Right.
We wouldn't be
You
able
tell
to
me
do it.
how you want to handle it.
How do we do the certifications?
The certifications are on item IDs.
Okay.
I mean, couldn't we just put a checkbox on the item ID that says it's a coverall or not, Kim?
We
Yeah,
could,
whatever.
but that means you have to check off every item ID. If it can be done on a trailer, it's just one check on a trailer. It says this is a coverall trailer, and then anything coming out of that, we know.
No, that's not going to work because
Sometimes we move the
Sometimes.
box. Sometimes we move boxes to the tool trailer if they don't need a coverall trailer.
Okay,
Yeah, then it's got to be on the item ID.
right.
So it's not a big deal. I mean, just send us an Excel spreadsheet of all your item IDs that are coveralls, and we'll put a field in and check it as active.
so what happens when we create new item numbers for new coveralls?
You just check the box off that says it's a coverall.
Oh, y'all are going to put another field in the item master list?
Why don't we
Yeah.
just use a category?
I can do that. We could do that. I
Just
could
put
make
in the category of coverall and then mark them that way.
Huh? Do what?
Just put a category in for coverall and mark them that way.
Yeah, we can do that. I can do a category for coverall. That's
Okay.
perfect. And I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood. I didn't.
I don't think it's, no, it's not that big a deal, Kim. I mean,
Okay, so we are when
So
when
with
they
the-
mark it as a coverall, then it'll come up under the packing slip, or they'll click on the user agreement.
it doesn't really matter. It's going to come up as a different form than a tool form. So if you had tools and coveralls on the same leasing thing, we'd spit out two pieces of paperwork, one for the tool and one for the coveralls.
Okay, so they're just going to click. They're just going to select print packing slip like they do now.
I would. And if there's tools and coveralls, you'll get two.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable, Ben?
Yeah. I mean, it's just Zach's going to have to know, you know, that slip. We're just going to have to communicate to him because all of this signature stuff is happening on mobile, so we'll have to sign twice. Or maybe, I don't know how he wants to do it. Maybe he can capture it once on a mixed back.
Yeah, on a mixed thing, I would think you could capture it once and then just print it twice.
Yeah, but
It doesn't sound like it's going to happen that often, but it could happen.
What's going to happen that often? That they're going to be on the same trailer? No, that doesn't happen that often.
But it could.
It can happen, but not very often.
Yeah. So most of the time they'll be checking out coveralls and they'll sign and then it'll spit out the coverall form that you gave us. And
Well,
if you're doing tools, it'll spit out the packing list.
Okay.
And if you happen to do both, it'll spit out both.
Okay. So 40 hours. So how much is that? Because Stacy's about to have a heart attack.
Well, I don't know. Does that change anything, Ben? What we just talked about, or?
probably just complicates it more. I mean, you know.
You know, I think that
It doesn't change.
I think the thing that Stacy's about to have a heart attack over is we already have this in the standalone system, other than the wording, and we already have the other part with the certifications, but the wording is different. But it really, I mean, it's not going to really matter, I don't guess, because we're not going to be able to. They don't want to use the standalone system. They want to use it live, like mobile.
Right.
It is what it is, I'm afraid, you know.
Yeah, I know. So how much am I looking at?
Why don't I drop it a few hours? I'll make it 35 hours. I don't want tell Stacy to have a minor heart attack instead of a major heart attack.
And we're at 125 an hour, is that right?
Yeah, so 35 hours is 4,375.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll tell him. Yeah, that'll be better. We won't have to do a CapEx. If I can get it under $5,000, we don't have to do a CapEx.
Okay.
And then if we have to do more down the road, we can do it in little increments and not one big huge lump sum, yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Always better that way.
All right, huh? What?
Oh, I said it's always better that way.
Yeah. Sorry if I confused things. I was just trying to make it easier, but I don't think we can. It'd be easier if they just used a standalone system, other than the wording.
Yeah, but the problem is they never sync it back up, Kim, and they never really use it.
Well,
so it's kind of self-defeating, right?
Well, no, yeah, exactly, but that's what they're going to use mobile instead of the standalone, if we ever get them to use either one of them.
It's so much easier to do just on your smartphone.
Are you kidding? Are you serious?
I am serious.
You can run inventory on your smartphone?
Yeah, sure. That's what mobile is.
Really?
Yeah. You can do this on your iPhone, your iPad, your Samsung Note.
No, we already used the iPad and came up with horrible problems. That's why our guys are on computers now.
Well, what's the difference between an iPad and an iPhone?
I don't know.
What was the problem with the iPad?
Oh, they were doing all kinds of screwy. Is Zach there?
No.
No, he's actually not right now.
Okay, Zach is aware. They were doing all kinds of screwy stuff. One iPad would do one thing, one iPad would do another thing. They wouldn't both do the same thing at the same time, and we had all kinds of problems. That's why it got to the point to where I said, that's it. Either we need to I told Zach we need to either get this fixed or we just need to not use the iPad because our guys are about to go nuts out there. So since we put them on just a regular computer, we're not having any of the problems we were having when they were using the iPad. We're not having screwy stuff happen. We're not having screens go haywire. We're not having any problems that we had on the iPad.
Well, how are you doing mobile signatures today for leasing?
We're not using leasing yet.
Because
it's not mobile.
Certification.
Leasing's not in mobile. So they can't use leasing.
Yeah, but you're doing signature capture today, right?
On the
Certification.
And that's on some sort of device, right?
On the computer. They just sign the screen.
Oh, so that's in the full-blown iPoll, Ben.
No, it's in mobile. They're just doing it from a computer. They're
I don't
doing
know
it
what
from
they're
a laptop.
I don't know what they're using for a device.
Huh. I can't see how mobile on a laptop is different than mobile on a different device, but because mobile's mobile.
We know we had problems in Safari, and maybe they're fixed now. Well, that was in the iPoll, the new skin, that he fixed that, but
You'd have to ask Zach. So he was about ready to just throw his hands up. He couldn't figure out what was wrong, why we were having so many issues. You'd have to talk to Zach.
Okay.
I just know that it was either we're going to change to a computer or we're not going to use it. It came to that point. Either we're going to change to a computer or we're not going to use it.
Okay. We'll have to review with them.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Stacy, and I don't think he's in his office right now. I think he's in a meeting at corporate. I'll send him an email and see if he's going to approve the 35 hours.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys.
I'll talk to Zach too.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Bye.